Lord of Jesus Christ, and welcome to St. Cyril Methodius Ukrainian Orthodox Church. I'm Father Gregory, the pastor, and as you can see, I've got a little ticker at the bottom telling you where we're located at 1020 Regent Street, Madison, Wisconsin. Well, welcome to back on this Sunday, April 2nd, the Sunday of St. Mary of Egypt in the Orthodox Church and Palm Sunday in the West. So happy Palm Sunday to my Catholic and Protestant viewers. I wanted to talk to you today about something that I was reading just recently, and that was from St. Gregory of Nyssa. Let me just put the quote up here if I can. I'm getting much fancier. By interweaving change in the stable nature and motion with that which is not subject to change, might by the interchange of attributes at once join them both closely to each other and make them alien from the conception of deity. For as has been said, neither of these can be considered to belong to the more divine nature. That is not an easy quote to sort of wrap our minds around because, while it's in translation, it was written in Greek, and just the theology is very complicated. But excuse me, what the saint is getting at there is that created being existence is for the creature a rhythm of stability and change. And if you think about just your own life, you know that in many ways you're the same person that you were as an infant, but not wholly the same person. There's been change, growth. Likewise, for all of that change and growth, all of that stability and change go together. And this is true really with the whole of not just human life, but all aspects of creation. One of the struggles that we have in our spiritual life is holding together that rhythm of stability and change. The late Orthodox theologian Vladimir Lossky says the church only changes to remain the same. And we can even go so far, maybe even make a corollary to that, is that the fidelity of the church from generation to generation is in the service of being able to change without adaptation or compromise as circumstances shift for us. But the other thing that the saint said is also something to keep in mind, and he just sort of implies it, but he moves on, is that change and stability joined together in the human is something which is different from what we see in God. But a little bit later in this same treatise on the making of man, he says that our ability to love God is based on our similarity to him. And so, though we are a rhythm of stability and change, there's something in us that is also like the God who never changes. And it's precisely that similarity to God that makes it possible for us to love him. And then he goes on even further and says, and our ability to take pleasure, delight in the world, in the creation, is also due to our similarity to the material, the created world. So, like in that we are stable, we are like God. In that we change, we are like the rest of creation. Our stability makes it possible for us to love God. Our ability to change makes it possible for us to delight in the created world. But we are neither of these things. We are not God, but neither are we a part of creation in the same way in which animals, plants, rocks are part of the creation. We have that middle point between God and his creation, and we have qualities that belong to both. This also then represents a great challenge in the spiritual life. To love my neighbor requires that I see how we are similar but also different. And I'm always tempted to emphasize similarity at the expense of difference, or difference at the expense of similarity. Likewise, in the spiritual life, I can emphasize stability at the expense of change, or change at the expense of stability. What I've got to do to grow in holiness is learn how to live within the rhythm of stability and change, of similarity and difference. It's just difficult. In fact, it's a very demanding standard because, for example, when I look at someone who offends me, someone who is objectively my enemy, I have to not only see how we're different, but also how we are the same. Likewise, when I draw close to someone and I feel a great kinship, I have to be able at the same time to see our differences. The key, I think, to the spiritual life is this, is to accept the rhythm of stability and change, of similarity and difference with appreciation, and to resist the temptation to resolve that rhythm to one pole or another. That's hard. And that is the action, that's the work of a lifetime. But if I don't do it, then I'm really going to miss out on the blessing that comes from knowing and loving God, from knowing and loving other people, but also in taking delight from creation. This is why the spiritual life is fundamentally a matter of looking in at my own heart and to being attentive to my own responses to God and to the world around me. This is a demanding standard, like I said before, but this is the only way in which I can hope to grow in holiness. Well, it's coming up on 10 after 8, and I've got to go get ready for liturgy this morning. If you are in the Madison area and you haven't decided about going to liturgy this morning, you're more than welcome here at St. Cyril and Methodius. Address is at the bottom of the screen. If you are not Orthodox, you're also welcome. It'd be lovely to have you and introduce you to the Orthodox Church. If you're living someplace else in the United States, if you're not in the immediate area of Mad City, try to find an Orthodox church near you and check out what we're about. All right. Well, a blessed Palm Sunday to my Western Christian friends, and let's get ready to celebrate the Sunday of St. Mary of Egypt here in the Orthodox Church this morning. God bless everyone, and hope to see you soon. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.